Morning, everybody. Welcome to Lock Pod, the Midwest's most dangerous podcast. We're coming in live to you from the NECA IBEW Powerade Indiana Lake County studio from Smith Sursick Law Firm in Munster, Indiana.
And Jill is caught by a train.
Of course.
You should have seen the swearing laden texts I was getting from her about roads in Northwest Indiana.
Dude, like where we live. Oh, morning, John. What's up?
Morning.
Vez.
For those of you that like
Vez.
I grew up out west and we didn't have trains.
It's so interesting to me.
Well, that's where they end.
Yeah.
So, like, you don't see a lot of them there.
I never thought about that.
Right?
That's a good point, right?
We're in the middle of the country here, so trains are passing
that's so
through.
interesting you made that point because I always just figured it was like, they built up everything and they avoided the train tracks.
No.
The train tracks are always there. It was
We're
just
at the end of the line.
It's like one line coming on in.
Yeah, and then it stops there. So you don't see a lot of trains.
You don't need
where
a
I
crisscross because it's the Pacific Ocean.
Exactly. So
that is
I grew up. The only train I ever saw was the wine train. Not a long stop at those crossings.
I've been on that wine train.
It's like a 2-minute stop, and then everybody
full of drunk people,
and everybody bitches about it. God damn, got stuck by the wine train. Like, were you late for work? Yes.
The wine train.
The fucking wine train's there for like,
it's like getting stopped
minute.
But like around here, it's like when you're happy when you know it's just the South Shore train that's coming by.
Yeah, South Shore train's
oh,
money.
Man, not a freight train.
See, what happens here is you'll get the slow-ass train. It's like 8 minutes, and you're like, finally, it's at the end. And then all of a sudden, as soon as yours ends, another one comes from the
other way.
side.
I was going to say,
but if you're lucky, that one's going a little faster, and you're like, fuck. So I imagine that's probably what happens.
There are times when I have to go from one end of Hammond to the other that I've gotten caught by 3 trains.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
3 different trains.
Guess what? Not Napa.
Not just the wine train.
Wine train.
Kind of makes me want to go on the wine train again. I wonder if anybody in the chat's been on the wine train. It's a thing.
I've been stopped by the wine train.
It's kind of like one of those things. You go up there, you're not going to go on it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what else? I've had friends visit from out of town, and they are like jaw on the floor. Can't believe the amount of semis on like 94.
Yeah.
Oh,
they just don't see that kind of stuff anywhere else.
Agree. Out in Cali, you'll see Teslas everywhere. You see cars. You don't see near the numbers.
Well, think about it. We have I-80, which goes San Francisco to New York.
Mm-hmm.
And we have I-94, which goes like Minneapolis or something to Miami.
Sure.
Or I don't know, whatever. I don't know where it ends up in the south. But and they come together
and
in our county.
And 294.
And 294, which turns into 94.
Right.
Which comes into our county, in your city, our city, plus Lake County. They all combine. Plus I-65.
So we got to
terminates.
When I have my friends from California visit, you know what they always are impressed by when they come to Hammond? How green and beautiful it is.
They're like, that's true. Oh my God. So dry out there it was.
Dude, I remember that distinctly. They were like, oh my God, it's so green in your city.
See, these are all great questions for our guest after 8:10 because he's got that
Southern
California.
Cali. Oh, he'll tell you. Southern Cali, it's all dead.
Wow.
Yeah. Everything in Cali. Like when I go to California and it's not dead, I'm like, wow, it's green out here.
I'm going to ask him about trains.
It's hardly ever. Yeah, he doesn't have trains.
No.
Dude, I went to the Cubs Sox game the other day.
I saw, dude.
Did you see the post?
Yes, I saw a post, and I was like, wow, the Sox, let's go.
This is so vintage Tom. This is such a great story. This is vintage Tom McDermott. Into Tom McDermott's brain.
I live and died by the Cubs. I love the Cubs. I was thinking about it. I think the Cubs are my favorite team.
Wow.
Even more than the Irish.
Wow.
Football. I don't know.
You love the Irish.
I know, man, but I live and die by the Cubs, which sucks.
What would you say? What was your age when you first started liking the Cubs?
I know. I was like 5. I was
young. You were young. You were like kindergarten.
Because I remember I spent all my summers out here. So, like, it totally makes sense.
Dad's a Cubs fan.
49er fan and a Cub fan.
Yep.
I'm not a 49er fan anymore. I left them in my childhood. I joined the Bears.
The Bears, thank you.
When the Bears were at their fucking worst. I made sure I was not going to be called a bandwagon. Hey, Jill, what's up?
Jill, fresh.
Welcome to the studio.
She looks pissed.
So glad you
Was it a double? Was it a double?
Oh, yeah,
See,
double train.
I anticipated the double.
Double train.
Yeah.
I think I was
Morning, Jill.
Same way, by the way. I was probably 5 years old when I started liking the Cubs. Or, when I was really like, started to be into baseball. You start understanding.
I went to a Cubs Sox the other day, Joe.
Oh yeah.
Can you get their coffee now, or?
I was like, I guess I'm getting the coffee,
dude. I was waiting for the right hook.
Yeah, John's like, you just hear a thump. John's on the floor.
Kevin was so pissed that he had to make his own coffee.
What the fuck is going on here?
I said, well, I guess I'm gonna have to make coffee this morning.
Kevin made my coffee,
and she just left.
You slam.
Okay, so I go to the Cubs game the other day. Cubs Sox. Cubs are freaking horrible going into it. They're losing like
they've lost 6
out of 8
series
or something.
in a row.
6 series in a row. They've lost so many games in so many series. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the White Sox at that point had lost like 11 in a row. So it was the battle of the two worst, like over the last few weeks, literally the two worst offenses in baseball. And of course, I get tickets to that game. And I go, and it's like a rainy / borderline day. And it fucking Cubs go down 5-0 to
the White Sox. So the worst team in baseball.
And like you have to understand, like if you're not from Chicago, the Cubs White Sox game at Wrigley brings out all of the
Everybody.
Yeah.
All the emotions.
And like you get some of the biggest White Sox fans that are like, "Fuck you, Cubs!"
You got to think about this.
Like,
Your team is like literally the White Sox are, I think, like 15 wins and like 45 losses. They're already 30 games under 500. And if you're a White Sox fan and you are still going to the Cubs Sox,
yes.
think about who's going to that. You're the worst team in baseball, and you're going to Wrigley Field to fuck with Cubs fans.
So the Cubs immediately go down 5-0, right?
Oh,
so like, and then a fucking rainstorm just soaks the field, and then we're sitting there in like the third inning, like, do I go home now? It's an hour into the game. The Cubs are down 5-0. I'm getting cursed at by Sox
I am
fans.
shocked you did not.
I was fucking pissed.
Because knowing Tom, like he's like, you know what? Let's get out of here.
It's
was raining.
So close.
We're getting killed.
First off, Chase was at the game.
Okay.
It was Patrick, Marissa, Chase, and myself.
Awesome.
Chase bails. He lives in Chicago. So, like, it's easy. He's like, fuck this. I'm not sitting through a rain delay. It's a regular season game,
right.
guys. I mean, honestly, I go to probably 15 games a year. So, like, I'll bounce. No problem.
And by the way, just because Chase, I mean, that's normal. If you live in Chicago, Chase can go tomorrow. He can go the next day.
Exactly.
He's just in and out.
So I'm like, Chase bounces, and I was very tempted.
I'm
like,
shocked.
Dude, I paid $80 to park, man. I'm like, fuck this. I'm not doing an hour park for $80.
Is that what it costs now?
That's what it costs for me because
Whoa.
I'm a pimp. Like I probably
Apparently.
You got the spot. Yeah.
I have a spot, and I don't want to
Okay.
lose it, and it's expensive because of fucking
All right.
Bidenomics. You know,
Top
it's
guy.
like biting the
My parking spot at Wrigley has not gone up.
Bidenomics.
Not
I
gone
know
up.
yours has
Mine
not.
has not gone up.
So anyway, I posted a Facebook post.
This is so Tom.
Yeah. And
By the way, great job by using Marshmallow as your as your
Oh, yeah,
icon
I still
right
got
now.
it up there.
It's pretty cool.
all right, my post. This is right in the middle of the rain delay. I'm getting cursed at.
Can you read the hashtags too?
Yeah, the sorry ass hashtag Cubs are just what the sorry ass hashtag White Sox needed. Obviously, they are making the White Sox starting pitcher 2-5 record, 5.4 ERA look like a Cy Young candidate. The 2004 Cubs suck so bad, a complete
2024,
failure,
right?
a complete failure from top to bottom. And then I had a picture of Belly and the Cubs down 5-0.
And by the way, and it shows delayed.
Yeah,
So-
it was fucking miserable.
I love Tom's like the one that got me laughing when I read this was Tom's like conclusion.
Yeah.
The 2024 hashtag Cubs suck so bad, a complete failure from top to bottom. The
Yeah.
reason I was laughing is because about a month ago,
I was on
a month
fire.
and a half ago, Tom was like, "Can you believe Craig Counsell?
I love-
He's going to be manager of the
No,
year.
I love
He's
Craig
the
Counsell.
best thing that ever happened to the
Dude,
Cubs.
Craig Counsell
They're
can't-
killing it.
What is
Every
he supposed
guy
to
that-
fucking bat for him?
No, I know, but
Yeah.
I think
Probably
it's
do
just
better.
it just
They
shows
would be.
Tom's roller coaster emotions about the Cubs.
I watch
mean,
every fucking game, Kevin.
I hear you.
I mean, every goddamn game. And, like, when they play like that, I start getting super goddamn dark, man. Super dark. And I was dark. I was in a dark place.
I
you know?
just abandoned
Tom.
them.
Literally and figuratively.
I was in a very dark
I
place
see that.
at that point. But, of course, now I posted it.
Yes.
Wait, but you're like posting this from where? Like
I
your
was-
seat,
dude, when I
the
go to a
baseball
bathroom?
game,
Okay.
When I go to the bathroom, excuse me. When I go to a baseball game, I have my glasses and I sit there like a little fucking old man and I like do my emails and I'm watching the game, but
Do you
I'm
keep
also
score
like
too. Like, do
No,
you keep
I
score?
used to love to
I
keep
used to do
score
that.
regularly.
I love keeping score,
Yeah,
but
same.
I could totally. But I just enjoy doing like email and just like
But
messing around.
Have you noticed now that with the pitch clock, how you can't really, you got to pay attention a lot more. It happens. The
Oh, no,
pitches are
I'm always
coming a
paying
lot
attention to the
faster.
game.
Yeah,
I'm
but I
always
mean, I'm
paying-
saying with emails and stuff, you can't really like look down too long.
So anyway, so
you
I
used to be
posted
able
this,
to.
Kevin, and as Kevin knows, anybody that knows that is following the White Sox and the Cubs, the moment I posted this, the Cubs started to come back, and they won the game. Funny enough, and I was there, and you could feel the momentum shift. You could. So when the Cubs came back after the rain delay, they started chipping, and the good news is they kept the White Sox streak alive, and they're still losing.
Well, this is what I would say. The only thing as frustrating as me turning on both nights of the Cubs Sox games and the Cubs being down 5-0 both nights is the total collapse of the White Sox. Like if I was a
Yeah.
White Sox fan, I would be banging my head against the wall.
Yeah.
Like 2 balks in a game,
Yeah.
a hits batsman, a walk, a wild pitch. That's how the Cubs scored. Not even a hit, and the Cubs came back. So,
Dude,
unbelievable.
Check this out. So I'm downstairs because my seats are cool. Like you go right downstairs and you're in the hot dog area. You got restrooms. It's literally like right down the stairs. That's why I love the seats. The seats are in the 200. They're not like great seats, but they're in a perfect location for me.
Right near the exit.
Plus, if I bring my dad, it's easy to get him down to the bathroom and stuff. So I'm downstairs. Just got done going to the bathroom. I'm buying a water and I'm listening to the game. You know, I'm aware of what's going on while I'm doing all this stuff downstairs. And then I realized that the Cubs are pitch hitting Patrick Wisdom. Okay. So the Cubs pinch hit Patrick Wisdom. We're already starting to chip away at the White Sox. And I'm like, dude, Patrick Wisdom's going to hit a home run. I fucking knew it. They're like, pitching change. They bring in a pitcher for the White Sox. Cubs respond. They bring in Patrick Wisdom. And I'm like, there's a guy on base. I'm like, this guy's going to hit a home run. I fucking knew it, dude. I'm downstairs. And I'm like, I'm the only one in the whole stadium that knows Patrick Wisdom's about to go deep, right?
The only one of 40,000 people.
So I'm like, who do I tell? I can't tell the fucking Cubs lady because she's like, I'm just one of 40,000, right? So I fucking paid and I run upstairs.
He's like a little kid.
Dude, I run upstairs. The pitcher's warming up. I get upstairs. I get to our seat. I go, Marissa, Patrick Wisdom's going to hit a home run right now. And they look at me, and I swear the guy throws a pitch. Patrick Wisdom takes it out of the stadium.
If only you could have bet that on that pitch.
Oh, my God, dude.
You should have bet it.
Marissa,
put your money where your mouth is.
I swear, dude, Marissa thought there was a glitch in the Matrix. She was looking at me like, how the fuck did you do that, right?
Wow.
And then it was almost like she thought I saw it on TV. But then she
and then ran
realized,
up.
wait a second,
We're
that's
here.
the real thing right there. How did he do that? It was awesome. I totally called it.
If only you had your FanDuel account up.
It's too
Or
bad.
Caesars or whatever we're using these days.
I haven't
DraftKings.
I haven't made a bet.
I haven't bet in baseball at all.
Really? Ever?
No, this year.
I haven't bet on baseball since last year before the All-Star break.
Yep.
I haven't bet on anything.
Nah, I haven't either, really.
Yeah. I lose
So.
too much. I lose. Everybody that tells you they win, I think they're all full of shit.
For Cubs fans, no. I think what happens is everybody likes to post their victories.
Right.
I mean, that's like that's like 101 gambling, right? Oh, everyone talks about how great they did, but you never hear
The
like,
one bet.
how shitty they did the other nights.
I bet $100 parlay and I hit it for $2,500. You're like, damn, how many of those $100 bets did you lose
not
before you hit the $2,500 winner? Yeah.
I guess the only thing just to finish up this little bit is the Cubs were back to reality last night and lost to the Reds.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Nice green shirt, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Kevin and I are dressing alike.
Wow, we are green today.
Yeah.
And Jill is too. Yeah.
Hey, check this
Green
out.
Day.
I saw a video the other day about Mayor Tiff with Governor Pritzker getting asked in his normal governor presser. He's sitting there getting asked questions about Mayor Tiff.
Yeah, think about that. There's 500, 1,000 villages and towns and cities in Illinois, and he's asking.
You'd never want, like, honestly, if I was we have Governor Holcomb down in Indianapolis. He's giving a presser, and then somebody's like, Governor Holcomb, did you see the crazy shit Mayor McDermott did in Hammond? That's when you fucking lost. Like, Mayor Tiff, you're fucking up.
So here's Governor Pritzker at his Wednesday presser in Springfield.
Monitoring what's going on in Dalton and Thornton Township and leadership there, are you concerned? Taxpayers seem very worried. There's chaos at meetings. What can be done? Could you play a role in stepping in some way? What's your take on the situation?
So I've looked at that question, whether the state should and can play a role. The federal authorities, as you may know, are involved and investigating. I've read that. I think that's a public piece of information. There is an investigation that's been called for, and now I know there was a veto that was overridden that will now allow that investigation to go forward with former Mayor Lori Lightfoot in charge of that. I think that those are two pretty good authorities for looking into this, investigating it, and getting to the truth.
And the state,
We'll support them. Well, we looked at whether we ought to put resources, whether it's state police and their anti-corruption efforts, or asking the Attorney General. The reality is that there are already two pretty significant investigations going on, and so we'll support them in every way that we can. But it's really just a matter of, do you want everybody running over each other in those investigations, or do you want two concerted efforts toward getting the facts?
So what did you take of that, Mayor?
I want everybody running all over each other. I don't know about him.
I kind of that told me when I listened to that, I was like, okay, these other investigations are rolling, and there is no reason for the state to get involved, because he's like, okay, Out of my hands. Feds have it.
Once the feds are in, why jump in?
Right. Don't.
Right?
I think Governor Pritzker said it perfectly. He's like, I'm not stepping on anybody's toes.
Right.
Things are rolling, man.
They're like, the Dalton Township.
Governor, we're good.
Right. Yeah. Once the feds are involved, I think you can sort of back off and just let the feds do their job, right?
I think that's right.
I mean, there's no other authority that's going to rock your world as much as the FBI.
No, and they are involved. They are very involved. Well, we know that. We saw the grand jury subpoenas.
So they're like, Cook County Sheriff, should I jump in or should I just let the feds do it?
Yeah, we're good. We got other things to do.
Yeah, we'll go catch drunk drivers.
I still can't get the gold-plated microphone out of my head, but that's a whole other story.
I wonder how much that cost.
I don't know.
Jill, you didn't get a coffee today.
Didn't have time.
I was telling everybody about your swear-laden texting to me.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Somebody invented a live app to tell me where there's, like, trains.
That's a good
I can
idea.
go around them.
Why wouldn't they do that?
I don't know.
Train app.
John, you can
how about this?
Like, here it comes.
Why wouldn't it be on your traffic app where you could see trains in real time coming?
Should be.
You're right.
I bet you that's not far away, right?
How could it not
you
be?
pull up your Apple map and it's like, if you're going on this route, there's a train coming. It'll be there in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And you have
I love
5
that.
freaking minutes to get across that train
Kevin,
line.
can you protect my intellectual
Where is
property
that?
right now?
Too
That's
late.
a good idea.
Yeah.
Someone in our chat just stole it, Jill.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
It's a great idea.
Right? Come on,
Yeah.
get on it, Tim Cook.
Speaking to some of our favorite elected officials or formerly elected officials, President Trump. This video just. Here's what I would preview this
Kind of
as.
a follow-up from our last episode,
about
right?
like evangelicals and him praying and all
got
this.
a letter from Franklin Graham.
Yeah, and like so this was like to
It is
me
a follow-up. Good
a
job.
softball question. Literally a softball question. The question is basically President Trump, how do you pray? Like what's your relationship with God and how do you pray? Is that fair, John? Is that about it?
He's like, I lay on my side.
Well, or whatever, right? Like you just
I'm the best prayer.
I mean, even if he said that, I would be fine. But it was like the way it was a softball. Like all you have to say is like, I've been through a lot lately, and I've taken all this information in from all these great preachers, and they've reminded me of what part of the Bible, parts of the Bible I should be thinking about, and I'm going to make it part of my life and all this. And here's how he answers. It is absolutely like you're like,
I'm excited.
What a narcissist! But here we go.
Relationship with God like, and how do you pray? That's Sharon from Alabama.
Okay, so I think it's good. I do very well with the evangelicals. I love the evangelicals. And I have more people saying they pray for me. I can't even believe it. And they are so committed, and they're so believing. They say, "Sir, you're going to be okay. I pray for you every night." I mean, everybody, almost, I can't say everybody, but almost everybody that sees me, they say it. It's such a beautiful thing. You know what's a beautiful thing, too? When you look at all of this bad stuff going on, they have nothing to look up to. They have no God. They have no anything. They kill people. They beat people. They push people into subways. There's just nothing there. Religion is such a great thing. It keeps you, there's something to be good about. You want to be good. It's so important, and I don't know if it's explained right. I don't know if I'm explaining it right now.
No.
But when you have something like that, you want to be good. You want to go to heaven, okay? You want to go to heaven. If you don't have heaven, you almost say, what's the reason?
Yeah.
Why do I have to be good? Let's not be good. What difference is it?
I can't wait for him to be president.
Like
again.
what?
I haven't seen that. That's the first time I've seen that.
What's your reaction?
It's fucking shocking. Like, basically, she's saying, "How do you pray?" And he's like, "People pray for me."
Yeah,
I don't pray.
What do I
Why
need
do
to pray
fucking
for?
pray? People pray for me, bitch.
It's
Like,
so
what are you
bizarre.
talking about?
It's so bizarre.
He could have answered so many better ways.
What's a day? I go before I go to bed.
Exactly.
Like this.
Right. Next
He's
question.
Like,
Have you seen
other
my
people pray
my
for me,
six
lady.
finger picture you made?
Yeah, right.
That's or whatever. But like, yeah, and he starts with like, the evangelicals love me. What?
Everyone.
Like, I
well, maybe
don't
not
pray.
everyone.
People pray for me.
Yeah.
That's how I roll.
Oh man.
So you know what else is interesting about this? Like this post is from a guy called John Root, who he was in like a sportscaster. I wonder if your brother knows him, but he went like conservative, and now he's like a Turning Point USA guy, and he's posting this anti-Trump stuff. So it makes you wonder if all is well in the
It's
Trump
interesting.
circles.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Dude,
It was a softball question.
I'm sorry. Were you saying something, Joe?
I was just going to say, why did it take 3 people to interview him?
They
What
all
do you
want
mean?
to point. They want to get in on him.
There was 3 interviewers in this.
Are you serious?
Yeah. There was like a whole at the end, John. It's at the very end.
What?
Whoa.
That's weird.
What?
Yeah.
You're not
Yeah.
getting in-depth answers, so I don't know why you need all those boxes.
You're not getting answers. How do you pray and
Look out
what's
for
your
the
relationship
rabbit
with
hole.
God?
You know, honestly though, like I've been seeing. First off, Trump got on TikTok, so I see a lot more of his stuff. Don Jr. got on TikTok, I see a lot more of his stuff. They're doing stuff, and then Biden's like, "I'm not getting on TikTok because it's Chinese owned." It's like, okay,
Dumb.
fucking stupid. Like, there's so many fucking people on TikTok. Don Jr. and I are spamming. I'm a fucking Democrat. I see their shit all the time. You think if I'm getting it all the time that everybody, all these other voters aren't getting it? So fucking keep your little crusade going. I'm not going on TikTok. Okay.
Well, I think
keep on doing that.
I think it's
Mr.
interesting.
President.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that Trump like flip flopped on that, and it was
He's
probably
all over
smart
it
to
now.
do so.
Hell yeah,
he's
it's
like,
smart
why
to
would
do
you
so.
be on the side of banning TikTok?
How about this? So I see a video. First off, in the last week, I've seen probably 3 or 4 Don Jr. videos. He's all over the place doing like, I don't like the guy at all. I have literally 0% interest in Don Jr.
But he's in
and
your
he's
feed
doing
somehow.
it. And he's like, he comes off as a tool to me, but I hate the guy. But like, he's doing this stuff that's like going around, and he's
I
like,
did not know Biden was staying off of it because of what's going on with TikTok.
you know.
That's ridiculous. Okay, here we go.
So basically, what they did the other day, Trump went to a UFC fight, which is right in his sweet spot, honestly, because he's got the people that go to UFC matches are like Don's,
UFC and NASCAR.
right, and he was like carried out of the place on their shoulders. I swear, they were just like falling all over, and then they put that all over TikTok. All these people just fawning all over him. Fighters like getting done with the matches and coming down to shake his hand. And this is all over TikTok.
Yep.
Whatever. It's
hopefully
Chinese owned. I don't want to use it. It's Chinese owned.
I
All
think
right,
it's
no
dumb.
problem. You know what else is Chinese made? It's a fucking iPhone. We use that every day.
Everything else, many things
Fucking
here in the
ridiculous.
studio.
You can't say you're going to ban it and then get on it. He can't do that.
Right.
He's
I
gotta
agree.
reverse.
Which is stupid. So all these other congressmen that voted to get rid of TikTok, you fucking idiots. Now all these kids that are like out. Excuse me. By the way, I've been told I cuss a lot more in season 12.
You've been cussing a lot.
Yeah, I
this
agree.
morning.
Yeah, is that bad?
Well, I mean,
just-
it's,
Honestly,
it's
like
filler.
I told
You
you
brought
guys,
it
like
up.
I have no filter anymore. I don't. Honestly, I don't really want. This is who I am as a person. If we're talking and if I get frustrated, I start cussing. Right?
like the bear, with the Cubs.
Oh my God, you don't want to see me at a Cubs game. I got yelled at by that old lady that one time. Remember?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then
She turned around.
The same seats. There was little kids in it this time. 2 kids, 2 moms. And I said something, and it was along the lines of my tweet. It was like, these sorry ass. And this kid turned around and looked right at me. And I was like, oh, shit.
That's nothing, young man.
I know. Like,
Just stay put. You'll hear more.
I do have it. I have a potty mouth, man.
So
I was in the Navy for 6 years. I earned my right to drop F-bombs.
You are who you are.
That's how I challenge people. They're like, you cuss a lot. I'm like, I was in the military. And they're like, oh, my bad. That's right.
You get a
An
pass.
excuse like that.
You get a
Yeah,
pass.
it's a good
if you
one,
have
right?
a
It is
Navy.
I was in the Navy. I have PTSD. And they're like, oh, that's right. Back off. All right.
A submariner. A
That's
seaman.
right. I do. I have a lot of semen. So let's move on.
Whoa.
There's your title.
I have a lot of semen. That might be a little too much.
I don't think I
That
said
is,
that.
yeah.
I don't think
Yeah, we
anybody
got-
said that, John. That was you extrapolating.
Yeah.
All right, you want to do some ads? We're
What?
SEAMEN.
Yes, of course.
That's how it's. Yeah. Power in Indiana, Lake County is your source for the region's most trusted electricians. Thinking of finishing your basement? Installing outdoor security cameras? Or does your business have plans to break ground on a new project? Don't leave important projects in the wrong hands. With IBEW Local 697 electricians, you're choosing the highest level of safety and reliability. Visit poweringindiana.org today to ensure your project is in the hands of skilled professionals who deliver on time and on budget. Find your electrical contractor at poweringindiana.org. Powering Indiana Lake County has been LockPod season sponsor from the get-go. Well, they've been a sponsor from the get-go, and we appreciate them. That's why we have their big, shiny
We're our studio sponsor.
Thank you very much to Powering Indiana and to all of our Lake County electricians.
Byway Brewing is a family-friendly microbrewery with a spacious tap room, an outdoor patio serving its award-winning craft beer, a chef-driven menu, and craft cocktails on draft. Their brewing equipment and production facility offer a unique backdrop for events like bridal showers, reunions, or corporate parties. With their new food truck, they can cater to your corporate and private events off-site. Just off 8094 at the Kennedy Avenue South exit. Discover more at bywaybrewing.beer.
Tortillas Nuevo Leon sets the gold standard in Mexican cuisine across the Midwest. Look for their iconic red and white label at your local grocery store and enjoy quality Mexican products made with local expertise.
Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia de todo corazón. Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia, de todo corazón.
All right, what are you laughing at?
The freaking
Another headline with an animal
there's
in it.
not.
Yes, owl offers board a lesson on.
Hold on, let me cut to this here.
Yeah, an owl.
Wow.
Headline, but it's a post. review.
Post.
Yeah.
It's a post, so they get a pass.
By the way, sorry, I wanted to answer a question in chat on X. It said, is this pre-recorded? No, it's not. We're coming to you live. Brian.
Live.
All right.
Thank you, X people.
Yeah.
Kuklakis Law. Are you facing legal challenges and you don't know what to do? Who are you going to call? Kuklakis. That's who. Look no further than Kuklakis Law, your trusted source for legal advice in Indiana and in Illinois. Do you need help buying or selling real estate? Call Kuklakis Law. Forming a new business? Call Kuklakis Law. Injured in a car crash or at work? Call Kuklakis Law. No matter what your legal issue is, call Kuklakis Law at 671-6347. That's 219-671-6347. Schedule your free consultation. Who are you going to call? Kuklakis. Hablamos Español.
Rogers Roofing. So, John, you got the picture?
Mm-hmm.
So, just going down my block today, and I'm on my way to work, and two of my neighbors.
Look at that.
Look at this. Rogers
not
Roofing.
coincidental.
Rogers Roofing.
Dude,
Oh, you live in a nice neighborhood, Kevin.
Well, people have done the people do
it
the
is a
lawn.
nice
tell.
neighborhood. It is a nice neighborhood.
Yeah, how
Look at that
can you
house in
tell?
the background.
It is a nice ass neighborhood.
Well, the point is that both of two of my
Kevin's
neighbors had Rogers Roofing signs in their yards, and they've been working their tails off over
That's
there.
what I'm saying,
Yeah.
man.
Rogers Roofing.
Basically, if you advertise on LockPod to our future sponsors, you're gonna have so much work. It's ridiculous.
Look at this. This is great. And so anyway,
It's mathematically proven. It's a fact that if you advertise on LockPod, you will increase your profits by.
Would you say
tenfold.
it's a guarantee?
these
It's
guys
a
are
guarantee.
busy.
Yeah,
I
it's a
guarantee it
guarantee.
personally. It's a Donald Trump personal guarantee.
To learn more and to schedule your free consultation, visit rogersroofing.com or call 219-933-9145, just like the signs say. That's Rogers Roofing or 933-9145. And remember, at Rogers Roofing, excellence is expected every time.
So if you want to be like the people who live in nice neighborhoods, use Rogers Roofing.
There you go.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. Brand new
MCR
roofs.
Partners is your one-stop destination for top-notch expertise in economic development, finance, and planning. With a dedicated team geared up to tackle your projects head-on, they're your go-to comprehensive solution providers. Dive into the world of economic development with MCR Partners and let them guide you through the maze of opportunities. Check out their website at mcrpartnersllc.com. For tailored assistance, don't hesitate to reach out to Matt Reardon at 219-741-9511.
Okay, we got a funny ass story here. It was given to us by our listeners. Thank you very much. We do take requests.
Yeah.
This one came in from our frequent guest and listener, John.
Actually, it was
JRC.
from Vez, and he did.
Oh, I
Cantrell just ignored John's earlier post.
I
so-
ignored it too.
So thank you, Vez.
Thank you, Vez.
How insulting.
I want to give
sorry.
the credit
We
where it
do get-
belongs.
We get a lot
Thank
on
you,
that
Kevin.
Lockpod chain.
Wait, you're
is-
insulted? How many things have I thrown in the chat that we haven't done?
Jill?
Ever.
I would say a lot.
the batting average on the batting average on that is low. I mean, let's be honest.
it's
we
true.
get
It's like
we'll
a
put
Cubs
20
batting average.
It is
Yes.
lower than a Cubs batting average. Like we put a lot of stuff up there, and this one caught because you when you see a Lockpod story, you know when you've seen it.
Yes.
It's so
This is
true.
one.
This is definitely
one.
a Lockpod
Here
story.
it
Let me
is.
explain this story
Can
to
you
you,
just
and then
read
we'll dig in.
Can you read the title? And
Sure. And then you know right off the bat. Okay. Remote Amazon tribe finally connects to internet only to wind up hooked on porn, social media. All fucking day.
That's
Lockpod,
Lockpod,
right?
yeah.
Okay. So basically we have a reclusive tribe in the Amazon because now we have these abilities when you're a reclusive tribe in the Amazon. It's the Marabou tribe. They're a very old-fashioned tribe. They frown upon kissing in public. Right?
Yes, the Marubu. How
The
do you say that?
Marubo?
Marubo.
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 Okay.
They're not listening. You
No,
can say
that's
however
true.
you
How
want.
do you
You
know?
never know.
They're on the internet now.
Yes, they may be listening to the Marubo.
I want to look at our stats later.
John,
So, yeah.
the big blurb in the middle of the Amazon now.
So now Starlink, we have the ability, we all know what Starlink is. I've seen it in my backyard and I freaked out. I thought we were being invaded. But Starlink is like a low orbiting. Have you seen these, Joe?
No.
Were you on that day? They were going over Hammond one day and I saw it and it freaked me out. I was in the backyard.
It's crazy that you can see it. Like it's crazy.
Awesome. It looks like a bunch of planes, but it's in low orbit. So, and they're really small satellites, but they fly right over and you normally can't see them. And they give us the ability in remote places to have satellite access now.
I was reading this article. I think we got the New York Post. This is the New York Post version, but we also had it from the New York Times. I've put a couple photos in from that. And they said there's 66,000 link ups now in remote Amazon areas.
Right.
That's crazy.
So now it doesn't matter that they have Starlink in the Amazon because you can't like pick up a stone and tap into Starlink, right? Now, what do we need to do? Let's give these people
who have lived
cell phones
just fine.
Let's give them cell phones and access to the internet and see how it works out. This is a great social experiment, right?
This is such a sad picture.
So, like, you have the Marubu tribe that are like, they thrive on hunting and fishing, and now they all sit around all day and they look at their phones.
So much so that the elders of the tribe have had to limit the times where they let the satellites turn on. So what they do is they like literally have...
We're turning the satellites off,
right,
damn it.
Everyone's excited. And they literally like hike in from like the Amazon or through the rainforest with wires and solar panels and the satellite on their backs, and then set them up.
Wow.
Within these areas. There's another picture, John, I had maybe just prior to this that like kind of shows the area.
Sorry.
Oh, you don't? Okay, I thought it was in the
I might have missed
article.
it.
No worries. But it's really amazing how they do this. And this Starlink, it's $6.6 billion in revenue for Elon Musk this year. $6.6 billion.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
The crazy thing about Starlink, too, is, it's an American company,
She has two devices, dude. Look, she has one in her hand and one down here.
Oh, my.
She's got
It's her work phone, obviously.
Yeah. It's my work and my burner. It's my burner phone for my boyfriend and the next tribe over.
So you know where all this is heading, right? Elon's going to launch a cell service, his own phone, his own hardware linked to Starlink.
You think?
He is.
That's a great call, man.
It's coming. Yeah.
That's a great call.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they have electricity.
I mean,
how do they charge? Well, it's solar. They get
Solar,
charged by solar.
That's true.
Yeah.
So, Tom, what's your like summarize? You got the headline.
The next thing you see is they're going to have a freaking McDonald's. And then after that, they're all going to sit around every day and freaking bitch and complain and get fat and watch porn. So,
welcome to America.
Marubu tribe, you're screwed. You're Americanized. Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with Elon right now. Did you guys hear this porn thing? He's like allowing porn on X now.
Bizarre.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think he wants to turn it into like OnlyFans where you can subscribe.
So
kind of thing.
bizarre.
He's allowing consensual videos on X.
Really?
Yeah.
Strange.
Tom, you can't read people's comments on X now without seeing fully nude comments. Yeah, well, it's crazy.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Elon is all in
I
on
haven't
this
noticed
porn
that
thing.
on
That's
mine.
why he took me out. He knew
Are
he
you
didn't
extra
want
pissed now that you're not on there?
Tom's like,
No.
great.
Honest to God, guys, like I did not want to lose because I worked hard on Twitter and I got 10 12
10 or 12,000, I think.
and then they took me out and I was freaking pissed, man. And I'll be honest with you, my life has gone on just fine. I'm all over TikTok though. I do love TikTok.
I'm still an X guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
I'm
you
not
and
good.
Elon.
Yeah,
I'm
me and
on
Elon.
X.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Well-
All right, we got a great guest today, guys. We have Matt Money Smith, who is in town. That's Kevin's younger brother. He's a play-by-play announcer on the radio for the Los Angeles Chargers. He's also got his own show. What's the name of the show again, Kevin? I'm sorry.
Petros and Money.
Petros and Money
For
of
20
course.
years.
I've known that.
AM 5. That's all right. AM 570 LA.
Yeah.
Plus he's like now he does a bunch of I want to ask him. He's doing a bunch of podcasts now.
Even Lockpod?
Well, I'm saying he's like got his own going. Like for the Chargers, he does a Chargers one. He's
Really?
Yeah. Last night we were at dinner and he's like, "Hey man, I got to run. I got to do. They're waiting on me to record a podcast." So
I wonder, are they like
not
small,
live.
short
they're-
ones? No, but
I'm curious. I want to ask him.
Let's check it out.
Get him
Why
in
don't you
here.
go get Matt? We'll go ahead and do some
Why don't
ads.
you get Matt?
Oh, you
And
want
then-
me
Yeah,
to?
yeah. I want you to.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. I'll start it off with Misprint Printing. Hold on.
Hold tight.
Elevate your brand with Misprint, the premier printing and sign solution in Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana. With a 30-year legacy of excellence, their experienced team, led by Rick Baltensberger, combines innovation and technology to deliver top-quality signs and printing, always on time and within budget. Conveniently located in Munster and in Hammond, Misprint is your partner for creating impactful visual solutions. Visit them at misprintusa.com to bring your vision to life today.
Cantrell and Cantrell, attorneys at law. Are you injured or in trouble with the law? Give them a call and schedule your consultation today with somebody who's in court and at the jail every day. Call John Cantrell at 219-5544-LAW or visit their website at bettercallcantrell.com. John and his wife, Kristen, make a great team and are waiting to hear from you.
Calumet Brewing. Michelob Ultra is a superior light beer brewed for those who understand that it's only worth it if you enjoy it. Containing only 95 calories and 2.6 carbs, Michelob Ultra is a light lager brewed with the perfect balance of hops and wholesome grains, producing a crisp, refreshing finish. With great Michelob Ultra partners like Lionel Messi and epic summer events including the Festival of the Lakes, Team USA Soccer, and the 2024 Olympics, there's no better time to crack open a cold one. Head over to the Cal Brew or Michelob Ultra social media for info on this great family of beers. Enjoy the Michelob Ultra lifestyle with beers and cheers responsibly.
The Bug Guy Pest Control, serving all of Northwest Indiana with no annoying contracts to sign, monthly and one-time services available, insects, rodents, and more. We offer pet-friendly, safe, effective treatments for commercial, residential, municipal, office, warehouse, and more. Give the Bug Guy a call today at 219-810-7481 or find them on Facebook to get your free estimate today.
Prestmer Insurance Agency. For decades, the Ron J. Prestmer Insurance Agency has been your trusted neighbor right on Indianapolis Boulevard, serving all of your insurance needs. They specialize in a wide range of insurance products and services, including auto, home, business, and life insurance. The Prestmer Agency serves thousands of people and businesses throughout Chicagoland and the Midwest. Call Ron or Ronnie today at 219-844-0103. They're here to protect what matters most to you.
Thank you to our sponsors, including our studio sponsor, Power in Indiana, Lake County Studios. And somewhere, Tom and Matt have gotten lost.
They're just like
It's
hanging
such a
out.
big office.
There they are.
I was like, man, we got done with ads and
I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt.
How are you? Great to meet you.
good morning.
Come on in.
Morning.
Man, in the presence of celebrity.
Ladies and
it.
gentlemen,
If I'm the celebrity, you guys got problems.
live from
We do have problems.
live from Southern California.
Come in the shot because you got to come up to the table.
Frequent
'cause we're
guest
in-
on Lockpod.
Well, I don't want
See how they match up?
The white
The
tape.
whites, the white tapes.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. So this one?
No,
Yeah,
no,
that one. The white tapes. It's high. It's high. Oh yeah, it's like this.
This
Oh,
is a
what?
real
Look
studio,
at
Matt.
that, yeah.
So
Don't
when
you guys
you-
do that in the real biz?
Yeah, so you do it for your navel.
Yeah.
The tape is right where
Oh.
I tried.
Really?
Tom
Centers
changed
you.
it. Tom changed it.
I got thrown under a bus.
See how
This
the
was
see
years
how the
ago we
real
did
studios
this.
do it?
I didn't know what I was doing. That was like the first episode.
Yeah.
I'm getting blamed for shit. That
Tom
was like
has 4
years
pieces
ago.
of tape over there. You figure it out, Matt.
That's why I went center here, center here.
It's
Where am I
very
going?
self-explanatory. Pulled the tape up to the tape. It's
Except
like-
for guys in the biz who are like, which? All right, where do you want my navel? This one or this
like
one?
Matt was sitting in my lap. I'm like,
I know.
oh,
That's
so
why I was like, wow,
classic.
I'm really
yeah.
gonna.
I like to be
cut the
close
shot
to the guests. That's how we roll. Don't you guys do
It's
it
that
like
kind of
this?
podcast.
In the biz? That's how we do it,
Exactly.
Matt. I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is a real studio, Matt.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is how we
This
do
is
it.
a real studio. It's a multi-camera shoot.
Yeah, man.
You know, you've got more cameras than, let's see, 3. I don't know. We had 3 on Fantasy Live. The same number of cameras that we had on NFL Network.
That's right. We have probably about the same number of fans, too. That's a weird thing.
You know what? You probably did.
Southern
You probably do.
California.
You probably, which is why they do nothing but replays over there now.
Wow.
So-
Wow. They took Matt off, and that's what happened.
Throwing shade.
So Matt is the keynote speaker for graduation?
Yes. So Matt and I both went to Morgan Park Academy for high school, south side of Chicago. And
Could you say that in a different accent? Matt and I
I
went
to
the-
Morgan Park Academy. Actually, they had an Indiana bus at the time, and Matt and I both went there, graduated from there, and they've passed me directly over and went right to Matt as the commencement speaker.
you are
this
the
year.
older brother, right?
Right
So
over.
what year did you do?
I'm still waiting for the call.
Oh,
Did
really?
they ask you to call Matt? Like, were you
No,
the middleman?
He announced it at Freddy's Steakhouse when he was in a town like over in March or something.
Yeah, for the.
Did Kevin start crying at the meal?
I think I was doing a basketball game, right?
Yeah, you were doing
mentioned it.
Purdue IU.
That's right. I was
Did
doing
Kevin
Purdue
excuse himself and go to the bathroom for a few minutes?
IU. Yeah. He,
Just hear like slamming of doors.
Mother!
You mother!
he was,
Kevin's like, he starts getting choked up.
yeah.
Excuse me real quick.
He had a far more accomplished MPA career than me, like far more accomplished. I was,
He was. I think you were athlete of the year. Your senior year.
Yeah.
Were you valedictorian?
Wait,
salutatorian?
No.
Wait. You were athlete of the
Yeah.
year? For
Kevin
what
was
sport?
he was a great athlete.
He was
Everything.
3-sport, right?
Soccer,
3-sport.
basketball, baseball.
By
Yeah.
the way,
really good.
look
Well-
at that. See, that explains the greatness of the Smith kids, with the athletics here.
I
I,
mean,
always
we
give
were-
Kevin shit because we know Jana's the athlete of the family,
Yeah.
right?
But we were 0-20 for our basketball team. So
But
I don't know if
you were the man though.
MVP of an 0-20 team.
Were you really 0
It's not
20?
saying much.
0-20.
No
Senior
basketball?
year. Senior year.
No
What
way.
position were you?
I was forward. Yeah. I was
Look
like
at
a
you.
number 4, probably. Yeah. Back in the day.
How many
But
points per game?
I averaged in double figures. I was
Look
probably
at
like
you,
11.
man.
You're
or
the only
something,
one
but
that could score on the 0-20 team.
It was no. I don't want to say that we had a good team. It's just we weren't that good. So.
Did you though? If you're
No,
0-20,
no,
did
no.
you?
All the
was
guys.
very
the,
competitive.
the problem was junior year. All the guys were really good and they left. So senior year we were left with not much, but it was okay. We did okay.
I love this.
Yeah. But Matt's speaking tomorrow, so he's in town.
And this is a
Kevin's like,
real.
let's change the subject.
Yeah.
here.
Well, Kevin wanted to make sure I put this. Kevin put this in the show notes. He wanted me to show this. This is a real advert for his speech, right?
yeah.
So,
Look how young he looks.
Yeah.
there. What year do you think that is?
That's the combine.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it
and
looks
that's
like
the combine when they made us wear suits. So that would have probably been 2015-ish.
Yeah.
Would be my guess.
You look younger now.
I look younger
You
now
look-
or then.
Now.
You look great, dude.
Oh, it's the
What's the
It's
secret?
It's the daily
It's the
surfing.
It's the ocean.
surfing.
Yeah,
It's
it's the
surfing,
ocean.
for sure.
California?
like to the
Yeah.
point that a friend of mine and I, well, he's doing most of the work. He's a longtime surfer, but he's got an ice bath company, Santa Barbara Ice Bath, and kind of cold plunge is taken over, and it works.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
Wait,
It's
explain this.
incredible.
I don't even know what this means.
Are you cold plunging?
Well, I cold plunge every day because I surf in the ocean. That's
Yeah.
it's 58 degrees every
You don't,
day.
but you have a wetsuit on, right?
I have a wetsuit on, but I'll go as soon. Like I went out in trunks and a 2 millimeter top. Typically, you're in 3 or 4 millimeter. 2 millimeter gives you a little bit more of the coldness. But so he makes ice baths, and he's working with people. And we're trying to mimic what is the composition of the ocean beyond salt. What are the minerals? What are what's because it's proven your serotonin levels rise, your dopamine levels rise. Everything, the ocean does something to us.
That's crazy. That makes sense.
Yeah, so I have my disposition has changed completely since I have started
you look
surfing.
great, Matt.
Gave up golf and started surfing.
Gave up golf, started
By the
surfing,
way,
and yeah, it's
I
great.
gave up golf. I mean, I didn't. You'll go golfing though, right?
Yeah.
It's not like you're like
No, I
recovery.
golf,
I
I
can't
just-
golf.
yeah.
If I golf one round, I'll be like up there 6 days a week.
Exactly.
right?
There goes my
Yeah.
disposition.
Yeah.
I gave up golfing then too. I haven't
golfing makes
golfed
you
in-
angry. You rarely leave a golf course happy. You're
I
always
agree.
pissed
And
about something.
It takes 6 hours. You're eating and drinking the whole time.
Right.
You get home and
Riding
fall
in a
asleep.
cart.
It's just
Right.
a bad
Yeah.
combo. I agree. I gave up
Exactly.
golfing too, and I started
So,
working out.
there
Can't you tell?
I can tell.
Look at this.
That was
freaking-
going to be my
Look at
advice
that
to you when
body.
I wanted you to run for president. I was like, dude, you got to cut some pounds, man.
I'm still.
You're a good-looking guy.
I'm still running.
Good.
4 years.
Good.
Yeah, dude. I'm
It's
going
too bad
third
they didn't
part.
nominate you for this cycle.
No
You'd win.
shit, dude.
We've been talking
I
about
let-
that.
Dumbass Democrats.
I let RFK freaking take the lead. And
Exactly.
He dropped the damn ball.
Why didn't you go after Mike Termott? Take out the Libertarians, dude.
I
Go
know.
get it.
We got to.
Absolutely.
Do you
Go
know
get them.
the vice president candidate on the Libertarians is from Southern California?
Is he really?
She.
Oh, she.
She had an affair with Elon Musk. Came out.
Come on.
She didn't think that was going to hit the freaking media.
Speaking of Elon.
Yeah, she's really pretty though. She's super
Well, he
rich,
is a
techie.
multi-billionaire, so I would assume she's quite.
Yeah,
attractive.
no doubt. And she's super smart and like made a bunch of money in tech and
Right.
now
Well, that's
she's-
RFK's girl too, Sergey Brin's ex-wife. So she's got a bunch of money. Is that who we're talking
Yeah,
about?
that's who we're talking
Oh, I
about.
thought you were talking about the
Oh, I thought
libertarian.
you were
too.
No. I meant
Oh,
Elon
yeah,
Musk.
yeah. It's Sergey Brin's
yeah,
ex-wife.
No, that's what I meant. Yeah. Sergey Brin's
So
ex-wife.
a guy who
yeah.
invents Google's probably
Yeah.
going to get an
Yeah.
attractive lady
Exactly.
to be his partner.
Exactly.
You would think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah.
No, it's a bummer.
That is a bummer.
Matt, one of the things I wanted to ask you, well, a couple things. One, Tom brought up that growing up in California, he did not have a problem with trains. True? Where you are. Any problem with any trains?
You get stopped by
like,
trains.
you know how, like,
Joe.
around here.
Like Joe got stopped on the way.
I thought you were mispronouncing trans, and so I was like,
a lot of trans.
what?
You've had some trouble with
Matt's like,
trains.
wait, I live in California. We have a lot of trans issues.
yes, we well, the essentially we have no public transportation. It's
And we're
terrible.
talking about like freight trains.
Yeah, that's so freight trains. You have the port of L.A., the port which is in San Pedro, and essentially
stopped by 'em?
instead of trains, it's all trucks. So freight trains, there are so few that run through Southern California. It is almost all trucking because Firestone and the tire companies destroyed the public. We had a red car that ran from the ocean to the city, Orange County. We actually have one in Seal Beach where I live. commemorate what was one of the great public transportation systems in America, and the tire companies just pardon the pun, railroaded them and brought in the idea of the, as you say here, expressway, where we are freeways, as the preferred mode of transportation.
Hey, I was talking to your brother before we got in here, which is why we were late getting in here. Because I'm like, this is tough. You're giving the graduation speech tomorrow, right? Yeah. We're bouncing all over. Sorry.
That's okay.
But I was like, this is a tough speech to give. I gave one at Purdue, and I didn't like what I did because I ended up talking about my career, and I got halfway through the speech, and I started getting self-conscious, like feeling like you're bragging. And I'm not a bragger. So, like, I was like talking to Matt. I'm like, how's your approach? Are you doing it? And he pointed the same thing out. I said, I agree. So what was your answer?
Yeah, I took a long time on it, a lot longer than I thought I was going to. And I don't know, I would just start writing, and I stop, and I was like, I don't like it. It doesn't feel right. And I think I have the benefit of still having young kids and just sort of putting them in front of me and thinking about what, how do I keep their attention? What do they want to know? And so I took a shotgun approach and just kind of like, we live in this quick cut TikTok society where your span of attention is no more than 30 seconds. And I just laid out a bunch of different things that I thought I would want to know that would keep my attention. And it's sort of, it's been 33 years since I sat there. And since then, these are some things that I believe to not be core truths, but to be important to
That's awesome, man.
To your success. And really the overall theme is sort of how, especially with the way kids consume news, if you want to call it that, or success, how it's just shifted. It's far too materialistic now, and it's all about not worrying about how you look or what you drive or what you're wearing, but being happy. And if that makes you happy, if driving a fancy car makes you happy, then buy a fancy car. But don't chase happiness. Don't chase success.
That's interesting.
I got a little preview.
I like it though.
Yeah,
it's true.
like
It's a good. I've been trying to live those words. You were saying something earlier before we walked in. We had a pretty good conversation, obviously. But you were saying celebrate your failures.
Yeah, always. Nobody wants to hear about how great you are. Celebrate. Like I said, Kevin, great athlete of the year, top of the class. Me, B student, won the JV baseball championship, and then an absolutely average, lazy athlete the rest of my athletic career at
Turned out all right.
Morgan Park.
There he is.
But, I didn't figure it out yet. It took me a minute.
Yeah.
And
well, that's me too, man.
Yeah.
I was freaking a C student.
We've talked about
Went to
this, right?
Navy right out of high school, and then I put myself through college because I knew it was important, and I was a better person for it. But it was a 6-year detour.
I think it's interesting just being able to kind of like Matt just did, like looking back, right? I think it's when you're young, you think like, oh, there's this older guy just talking about blah, blah, blah.
Right.
He doesn't know what he's talking about. But the reality is, as you get older, you realize you have the benefit of that ability to look back and see what matters, what's important, how you got where you are. And like failure is part of life, right? The lack of success
It should be.
drives you just as much as the successes. I mean, I one of the big things in my life was when when Steve and my old firm broke up. It was a big
Good job.
thing, right?
I was
It was
gonna
a big
ask you.
deal. Yeah, I mean,
So that's one of the
that was
biggest
a
failures
big-
of your life?
Sure, like right, you don't like you think everything's going great. All of a sudden,
So Rubino,
somebody walks in. Yeah, I mean,
Crosmer, Smith, and Sursik.
Smith, Sursik, and
It was
Paul.
like,
Yeah, it was a
dude, that was
great
traumatic.
firm.
That was traumatic.
and it was a big deal. But like Steve and I, got up by our bootstraps, figured out what we were going to do, and here we are, 12 years later, 13 years later.
Look at this
where we're at.
place.
See?
Yeah, you have a shower in your office.
He's got a shower
You've
in his
made it,
office.
man.
Dude, I would never go
Haven't
home
used
if
it
I had a
yet.
shower in my office. I'd be there right now, showering.
But see, that's something I figured out when I worked at DreamWorks. It's just speaking to that, like, we thought it was the greatest thing that we had this cafeteria, and we're like, this is incredible. We don't have to leave for lunch. They're feeding us. And then I'm like, wait a minute. We don't leave for lunch anymore. That was like our hour where we go out, we get away from the office, we could hang out. It's like, no, instead
Eat the food.
Yes, I'm eating in 7 minutes, and I'm right back at my desk
They're like,
for 53 more minutes.
They've got you.
They figured it out, yeah.
What I was, we were talking about our sponsors earlier, and I know we're all over the place, but I was just wondering
We
about
are
this. Like on your radio show, which is now, how many years have you guys done it?
Petros and money.
This is 19th.
19th.
This is our 19th year.
Now, that's literal years, right? Because
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
we're on 13 seasons, but it's
Literal
only been like
years.
3 years.
You'd be on season 60-something with us, yeah.
Yeah,
So 19 years. Have you had any sponsors that have been with you the whole? No way.
One.
So- okay.
Yeah.
Really?
Galpin.
Ford? Or is it?
So Galpin is the largest auto dealer pretty much in the world.
Really?
Their Galpin Ford is what they started at, and I think they've They've been number one for 29 years in a row. They sell more Fords than any other Ford dealership in the world.
So, like, when they first came on with you.
So they were Bo Bachman, who's, I don't know how far up he is in Ford now. So he's a little bit older than me, but he was a big K-Rock guy when I worked at K-Rock. And so he used to come to the shows, and he and I hit it off. And once I got my own show, Jeff Scobin, who's their head of advertising, was like, we don't do endorsements. We never have. Bo does all the commercials, but he loves you. So would you endorse Galpin? I said, sure. So that was the first commercial that I endorsed at KLAC when I got hired there, and they've been with me ever since. And now they are Galpin Ford, Mazda, Volvo, Aston Martin, Porsche, Audi, Volkswagen. Like, it's
so you take credit for all that.
Yes, I do. So yeah, that's
19 years straight, man.
Well, and actually more appropriate for this, my radio partner has arguably the greatest accomplishment of any endorsement we have. He named Sweet James. Who is
lawyer?
A huge personal injury attorney,
really,
like one of the biggest in the country. James Bergener came in and said he wanted to advertise, and KFI, which is the conservative talk station in our cluster at iHeart out there, and he advertised on KLAC, and Petros was his guy, and my partner's very brilliant and just comes up with these things on the spot, and for whatever reason, called him Sweet James. In one commercial, and he's got a beard, and he's like, the dense beard of justice, Sweet James will fight for you, and so
I need a dense beard.
James calls him and says, hey, you keep calling me Sweet James. I just want you to know, I know you never see me with girls. I'm not gay. And he's like, yeah, I know. You know the song Sweet Jane, Velvet Underground, right? He's like, yeah. He's like, I just figured. And he's like,
that's a great song.
Oh, okay. And so now you drive around Southern California, and you cannot go 5 miles without seeing a Sweet James 1-800-9-million personal injury.
Petros should be getting like a 1%.
100% should have, but that's not what was
It's
negotiated.
like you at Tortillas Nuevo Leon.
I was going to say that's what we did for Tortillas Nuevo Leon, and I know you've heard that song many times, so we don't even need to play it.
I was singing along.
Well, now Galpin Ford and Sweet James owe us some money.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, right?
Hell yeah, they do.
See, that's the trick to endorsements, just weaving it into conversation and not, just
Matt,
peppering people with
that's
it.
how Lockpod came about. Like when we started, we were Left of Center podcast,
right?
And we would like, welcome to Left of Center podcast, blah blah blah, and then people started calling us Lockpod, and we're like, what is this?
And that's what we are now.
Exactly.
Now we just call ourselves Lockpod.
happens.
We don't even call ourselves Left of Center.
A dominant acronym.
Yeah.
So
well, I guess not really, because podcast is a word. Anyway.
Yeah, true.
Since we're in the Midwest, and we're the Midwest's most dangerous podcast, one of the guys from the Midwest is now hanging out with you in LA, and that's Jim Harbaugh.
Yes.
Oh man.
So
I'm a fan.
We saw him. Obviously we saw him win the national championship for Michigan this year, rival of Notre Dame, and now he's running the Chargers. So, just curiosity, I guess, just because Jim Harbaugh is such a name around these parts. What's going to change for the Chargers now that Jim Harbaugh's in charge?
Everything. He's incredible.
Yeah.
He's I was fortunate to be around him. I was calling college football when he took over Stanford, and so I got to watch firsthand. I called a lot of Stanford games, and I called a lot of his 49er games. So I've been around.
Was it 49ers then Stanford or Stanford?
Stanford then 49ers.
That's what I thought.
So
right.
started. He was quarterback coach for the Raiders for 1 year. Went down to University of San Diego 3 years, and then Stanford, and then 49ers, and then Michigan, and now the Chargers. He is a sun. He is a star that everybody orbits. He moves, and people move with him. I was just at the golf tournament, our charity golf tournament that I do every year. We do the radio show from there every year. So I think this might be year 5 or 6, and I've never seen anything like it. Every player out, and this.
Oh, you're saying all the players?
Yeah, this is Jim Harbaugh encapsulated. Got something called Harbaugh. What's that? He goes, yeah, we do these differently. It's not just 18 holes, scramble, best ball. It's not what we're doing. Here's what we do. 13 holes, scramble. At the end of 13 holes, we will crown a champion. At that moment, we will begin individual play. If you are double bogey or better, competitors are welcome, people. Competitors are welcome here. If you double bogey or better the first hole, your 14th hole, you advance. You bogey or better your 15th hole, you advance. Par or better 16, advance. Par or better 17, I will see you on the 18th tee.
Wow.
And we will crown an individual champion. And I'm like,
that's awesome.
This is crazy. These people are paying like $1,000 a person.
And everybody's in.
And they might be out after 13 holes.
But I mean,
they're
pumped. We're doing it.
And next thing you know, it's the 18th hole, and there's 8 people left.
Wow.
Every player is still there. It's like a major. They've encircled the 18th green. This 22-year-old kid makes a 35-footer for birdie.
That is awesome.
And you've got all the players screaming and yelling and lifting them up. And
how awesome
I'm like,
is
there
that?
it is.
That's it.
It's like, that's
buy-in.
That's Harbaugh.
That's badass.
So we were in. So I was out at OTAs the other day.
We got Eberflus, though. I don't know if you knew that.
The Flusser. the Flusser.
Wait, what's OTA?
He does that stuff too, Matt.
Yeah, OTAs is organized team activity. So they're voluntary. Chargers have 100%. Like, I think there's 2 guys that aren't there. Like Herbert, Bosa, Khalil Mack. Everybody is there for these voluntary workouts. And at the end of it, they do what they call fourth quarter period, or OT period, where they've now gone through 2 hours of practice, and now all of a sudden these sleds come out with all these weights, these medicine balls, basically the giant bulldozer tires, and these players just start going station to station, and they got 15 minutes of, hey, I know you're tired, but now you got to do this, because that's what games come down to. The final couple minutes, can we outlast our opponent? And so Harbaugh's out there because he's just A, hilarious, and B, a psycho. And he's got one of the sleds strapped around his waist, and he's pulling them in the middle of them all. And so when we're interviewing him, I'm talking. I was like, "Hey, Coach, I was out at OTAs the other day, and just kind of talk us through, the OT period, the fourth quarter, and the idea behind it." And I was like, and hey, I want to pay him a compliment. I'm like, saw you out there, dragging the sled, 3 plates on there. What is that, like 150 pounds? And he's like, yeah, OT, 150 pounds. Those are 100-pound weights. Those are 100-pound plates.
He's like, hold on a minute.
It's like, that's a 300-pound sled.
Oh, man.
Some of those guys got 500 pounds. And I'm like, hey, Coach, sorry. I saw you carrying that medicine ball. He's like, 100-pound medicine ball now. I'm like, okay. I was like, I weigh 150 pounds.
He's intense.
Yeah, my interpretations of plates are different than yours.
That's
I'm sorry.
hilarious.
But that's him. And he's great. And he's nothing but compliments. Like, he is just, for as intense as he is and as much as he asks for me. And I think it's a great exercise in leadership style.
I love him.
It's just, you're great. He's great. I wish I could remember his name. So we've got Justin Herbert's the Chargers quarterback. You don't even have to carry a second one because the guy, although he did get hurt last year. Anyway, 4th quarterback is out there. And he's an undrafted free agent out of like Augustin or something. He's not even going to make the practice roster. Probably Max Duggan will be our practice squad quarterback. And yet Harbaugh's just walking around and doing practice, and he stops and he's watching him, and he comes over and he's working with him in his footwork for like, and this may sound short, but it's an eternity for a practice that's on schedule. Everything is down to the minute. He's probably spending 2 minutes with this 4th stringer who's going to get cut on why his drops and his handoffs aren't right, and he's doing it with him for like a full 2 minutes. And I'm like, that's
cool, man.
Every single detail must be perfect, no matter what level of depth you are on the roster.
Wow,
yeah,
that's
very
awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, what do you think about the Bears with Khalib? Caleb.
I love Caleb.
Yeah.
I think the one benefit he had that will benefit him with the Bears is, he played behind a pretty leaky offensive line when he won the Heisman, and that's important. The offensive line is hard to figure out in this league. So, he was able to overcome it and throw. I called his Utah, the USC-Utah game in Utah, which was incredible. It was a, 58-56 game where they were just trading haymakers, the entire Cam Rising and he were just going at it back and forth, and it was so fun to watch him make. And again, Utah is the most physical team in the Pac-12, and they were beating the snot out of him, and he would just make it happen.
So is Caleb going to be do you think, okay, so, Bears fans are like, maybe we shouldn't have got rid of Justin Fields, maybe we should have, taken somebody else like Marvin Harrison Jr. and stuck with Fields. You think it was a good move for the Bears to get Caleb Williams?
I don't think it's even close. It's a no. I mean, Justin, really? Like, I heard the whole Merrill Hodge thing, which I thought was laughable. He's like, I watched 3 games of Caleb, and I've seen enough. He's not it. We still don't know about Justin. I was like, you've got 3 years of Justin Fields. Right. You've got 3 games of Caleb Williams. Right. You know what Caleb's going to be. We're not sure what Justin's going to be.
Right. That's funny.
Justin Fields is an incredible athlete, but you have like the most important. You've got to be quick, and Justin has just been a tick slow. And when you're a tick slow, that's how you take the most sacks of any quarterback, because it's just you're waiting for
Even-
something
even
that's
with
already
those
there
legs.
and you don't see it.
Right.
And so it's not even close. Caleb will he is going to own this city. He will
I hope so.
I believe things can get weird, things can go wrong, but the way he throws on the run, the strength that he has, the accuracy, the athleticism, the competitor in him. Last year was weird. Last year they got sideways. They had no defense, and that's disheartening. When you've already
Right.
won a Heisman, when you know
Right.
you can't lose a game,
Right.
and you're watching your defense just give up 50 points game after game, you get it.
Yeah,
It's like,
I
whatever.
agree.
You're going to be the number one pick. Don't
Right.
get your head
you gotta,
knocked off.
Exactly. You got to protect your body
Yeah.
at that point, right?
Yeah.
So that's a great point, right?
Yeah, he's great. I just hope that he is a unique personality, and I know this can be a very traditional city, so I hope they embrace his individual.
Oh, I think they're going to love him.
Yeah, because he's going to win games.
Yeah,
and
that's what
he's
they
going to
want.
be fun. Like, he's going to be fun to watch.
Tell me about the Dodgers, man, because obviously I'm a baseball fan. I know you're a baseball fan.
Yeah. I'll say this real quick though.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Roma Dunze might have been my favorite player in the draft.
Oh yeah,
That's just wait.
What did we get?
that's the
What did
receiver.
we get? Pick 9 or
Yeah,
I think came at 9.
Right.
He is a home run player. He is I know people up at Washington in their program, and they said he was every bit, if not more important than Michael Penix to their success.
So
that he
so
is the
Bears are looking
leader of the
good.
team, and he's great.
I know
He's
you're not
huge.
getting paid to make us feel good,
Not at all.
right? But you
yeah,
think the Bears are definitely taking a step up?
most definitely. Those two guys are going to what's the best receiver quarterback combo, and I'm trying to think what is the best. Is it McMahon, Willie Gault? Is it
And the Bears?
I mean,
Jesus.
right? He had like
McMahon,
150
Willie
yards in the
Gault.
Super Bowl, right? I don't know. I'm trying to think of
McMahon,
one.
Maybe
Willie
it's
Gault.
Vince Evans, Willie Gault.
Yeah, who was Eric Kramer's go-to
who
receiver
knows, man?
that year?
It's not even. We're not going to remember that.
Yeah, is it Rex Grossman, Marty
No,
Booker?
it's not. It's not any of those.
Yeah, that's going to be that it's going to be special.
Can we switch to the dead briefly
Yeah,
before we
please.
let Matt go? So
Yeah.
we went to the Sphere.
Yeah.
You got plans to go?
I'm going to try to go the end of this month.
Let us know when you go,
You
Yeah.
have to go.
I know.
because the show's changed already.
Yeah.
Since we saw the first 3,
Right.
And I'm watching the graphics come out, and it's a lot of difference.
Yeah.
And the set lists are totally
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're doing
Like-
different sets.
And they're
Yeah.
coming back in August now,
Right.
so that I don't know, it's probably tougher with football. But,
I hope they push it further into August personally, but I don't think they're going to. I have
Yeah.
a feeling this is the last. It's like August 15th.
Try to get out there. Have you been to the Sphere
Matt,
yet?
you got to get there.
I have not. No, I was out there. We played the Chargers played the Raiders, and I had an opportunity to go see you two. And then they had a team dinner. And I was like, all right, well, team dinner.
Right.
Yep.
See what the
You got to
Sphere-
get out there. You
Yeah.
got to check
Team
it out.
dinner is,
I mean,
yeah.
you're a dead fan. So.
Yes.
It's
am.
amazing. It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's
Yeah.
worth it.
I interrupted you. What were you going to
No,
ask
no. What's the Dodgers to me.
Oh, Dodgers.
Oh, that's right.
The
I'm
Dodgers
sorry,
are like
Tom.
an all-star team.
It's
I mean,
fun.
honestly, they have 4 all-stars. It literally a couple MVPs. It's just like unbelievable to watch this team. I
It's
mean,
really fun.
Is it? Yeah. Are
Yeah,
they
it's-
selling out every game? Like if we.
Every year they break attendance records. I think they'll probably go over 4 million this year. And Ohtani's just, it's so weird. He's been in, it's not like he was in Seattle or San Francisco. He was in Anaheim.
Yeah.
And not that nobody
Right,
cared,
right.
but it just didn't.
Right.
Angels games sold well. People went. There were a lot of fans, but it was never part of the Los Angeles
Right.
conversation.
It's
and
so weird.
now it's the conversation.
It's like being on the Mets in New York, right?
Yeah. It's
Probably.
like he shows
Yeah,
up to Dodger
good point.
Stadium and people are like,
Mm-hmm.
did you know he was so big? And I was like, he's been in Anaheim for 6 years. Like, Mike Trout's huge and he dwarfs Mike Trout. Yeah.
Is Mike
knew
Trout
was-
huge? He doesn't.
Oh, yeah. Mike Trout looks like a linebacker.
Oh no,
Mike
you
Trout-
could tell he's thick.
Yeah,
but
Mike Trout's probably 6 foot, and
Right,
jacked. And Ohtani is like a legitimate 6'3", 6'4", with the
Jacked.
broadest shoulders, and just it's like Joe Alt. The first time I stood next to Joe Alt, I was like, this is stupid. This is ridiculous.
What's that, John?
I didn't say anything.
But to me, it's watching Ohtani is like we're watching Babe Ruth. It's if you're you have little kids, you got to go out, you got to
Yes.
watch this guy. Like he is a generational talent, and he's playing baseball right now.
Yeah.
It's literally like we're alive during Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
era,
And
He's-
just the violence with which he swings is
it's crazy.
so
his
fun to
his
watch.
swing is so
It's just
mechanical looking,
massive.
but it just whips that bat
Yeah.
and just We were at the game. He had a line drive home run in Wrigley.
Yeah,
and
we were there. I texted you when we were there.
It was the freaking nastiest, coldest day with the wind blowing
And
in.
then we left.
He just screeched it out.
Yeah.
It was just like a screamer.
Yeah, I mean, with the Dodgers, is just after last year, is so disappointing their exit. I mean, they've got to.
Every year.
They've got,
I
yeah.
mean,
you're
every
right.
year.
They need to win it.
It's the Padres, it's the Diamondbacks, it's the Nationals, it's the Mets. Every year they crush the regular season and struggle in the postseason. So hopefully this year will be different.
Okay.
I'm going to wrap us up.
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, first off, Matt, appreciate you coming back.
Absolutely.
You've been on a number
Thanks.
of times. We
Thanks.
appreciate
Always love
you.
coming in.
We love.
Now that I got the tape thing figured out, I'll be
Yeah,
more
next time, don't be sitting on my lap
Come
next
back,
time,
yeah,
please.
exactly.
That's so funny.
Jill, thank you for running into the studio and missing part of it to still get here. We appreciate it.
Wow,
And I'm sorry
you had
about
to throw that in, huh? I missed a part of it.
No,
Well,
you-
I mean, I had to get
Jesus.
coffee, Jill. I mean,
Kevin made my damn coffee. Like, it does not taste the same. Jill.
Does Matt have? I wonder if Matt, you have like 4 assistants getting you guys coffee every morning, and
they take advantage of us.
Oh.
We have
there's flaws in California.
Yeah, we have nothing. We had a great intern program that our interns would get jobs, and they took those away from us, and because something happened upstairs in the FM, so now we can't have interns anymore.
oh boy,
fucking FM, dude. Terrestrial radio.
FM guys,
Exactly.
dude.
Yeah,
not on the AM side. Nothing happened.
that's right.
Nothing. It's 4 people. It's
That's why
Petros.
you're the speaker, because Kevin sent his writer and they couldn't match.
that?
Kevin's writer. It is notoriously difficult.
Yeah, we do everything. We got a producer,
That'd be so funny.
engineer.
Yeah, oh, you want me to speak? Yeah, I have some conditions you need to follow
Yeah,
first.
exactly.
Yeah.
Need some water.
So,
Prompter.
Fuji.
I need the
Yeah,
the
prompter.
light. Although I do have one little issue that I've got to figure out. The way they and I almost feel like I don't want to ask permission. I'm just going to
What's
do
that?
it. So they have the class behind me.
Oh,
that's
I'm like,
weird.
yeah, I'm like,
Oh,
no,
that
I'm
is
addressing them.
That is weird.
I'm not addressing the parents and the faculty. I'm addressing them.
you'd be a lot of like this.
So I think
You
I'm just
should
gonna. So
turn
I'm
around.
like I'm just gonna pick up the lectern and
no way,
Right?
no way.
I love it. We heard
Right?
it here.
I'm already getting stressed.
Yeah.
This is crazy. Back to the audience.
This is like when Tom does something. I'm always like, oh no.
Yeah, that's awesome. I like it. I
The
like
school's
it.
what? It's
Good luck tomorrow.
151st class.
That's
Lectern's
right.
probably 100 years old. I'm gonna drop it. It's gonna
Oh,
shatter.
my
Don't drop that. Don't do that.
It's gonna be on tape, and he's gonna
We're
have
never
his
gonna-
back to the.
The
I
Smiths
love
are
it.
never going to be invited back.
Well, I haven't been back since I graduated. So.
No big
I think
deal.
what Kevin's worried about is Kevin's never going to get asked back if you do this.
Exactly.
You realize you're fucking my chance up to speak
Right.
there. So, all right, Matt, we appreciate you coming
Yep.
on, man. Thank you.
Got it.
Welcome back to Lockpod, and thank you to the fans and the sponsors and everybody that makes every show so special. We appreciate you very much. Season 12, episode 13 is in the books, and Lockpod is out. Thank you, everybody.